Okay, hello, welcome. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to finish this today. I hope I do, but I'm not sure. There's still quite like a few achievements left, and I'm not sure if all that's gonna be like in 50 minutes. So maybe there might be one more stream. I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see. Let's get into this. Day begins to tickle by the sands of the hourglass. Day which I devote unearningly to research and experimentation, and attempt to lift Blaze's curse. Flip through any number of books, gather any number of ingredients, and mix together any number of potions. For all of our hours I pour into the research, however, I've made very little progress, and even that might be putting it charitably. The curse Charmaine cast on him is every bit as potent as it was. It feels like my best efforts are all for nothing. I'm losing sleep over this, and lost what little of my appetite I still had. But it's little to no. It's to little avail. I can work as hard as I want, but it's a desperately pointless endeavor if it doesn't yield any results. Charmaine's curse is complex, and it's evading me. I guarantee that our Oleander Academy will exemplary grades, but not seen anything quite like this before. Charmaine might be a novice witch, but her magic energy is unparalleled. Soon, I have only one full day left before Blaze is set to remain a cat forever. Yet I've done precious little with it. I still haven't made any headway. How can that be? There's something humiliating about it all. I have my skills called into question by a girl like Charmaine. She's still a child, but ability is far outstrip mine. It's enough to make my doubts about my capabilities as a wizard. It was awful lot like a hack, but no, I tried to tell myself I can't afford to get bogged down in pointless self-censure. This isn't going to help Blaze. I don't want him I don't want him being stuck as a cat for the rest of his days. He doesn't deserve it. I said it was going to help him, and that's precisely what I meant to do. I'm going to do my best. I have to do my best. But what if my best isn't good enough? This thought swirls through my head during the day, a nagging, uneasy doubt, which grows as the minutes slip by. Aww. It's out of desperation more than anything else that I wind up giving Blaze a potion I knew immediately after brewing it might come with some adverse effects. The finished potion is a strange swamp green color, which undulates uneasily within my cauldron. Bubbling rises to the surface of the ocean and burst, carrying with them an unpleasant stench of rotten eggs. The smell alone tells me I'd better off casting it off out, let alone the consistency. But I'm so desperate, I feel compelled to feed Blaze at least a little bit of it. Oh. maybe in some convenient twist of fate, it'll prove to have some restorative properties I hinted to know nothing about. It's a nice thought, at least, much nicer than the potion itself, but... Aww. Using Blaze the potion soon proved to be a mistake. Aww. Blaze was really had more than a couple sips of it before he starts coughing. Horribly hacking coughs, aww. Which makes his small, furry body shudder, aww. Shit, I'm sorry, Blaze. I scoop my feline companion up into my arms, then hurry him outdoors for some needed fresh air. There's one subject to the cold breeze. He heaves and then convulsing all the while. He found, aww. Shit, it'll be alright, I promise it will. There. Aww. I tried to soothe Blaze as I can while he continues to gag. Oh. Rub my fingers behind his ears, which I know he likes, and there's been so much horrible scenes with him. Oh, and having to read all this is so. Which I know he likes. Then between his ribs and at the base of his tail, I continue to pet him all over and over again until everything evens out and his shudder stops. Seems to be doing a little better, but his eyes are glazy with tears, and his falling meals are of a helpless, heartbreaking variety. All. Yeah, I know. Being sick sucks. I shouldn't have fed you that potion. I knew that caused complications. I'm sorry, Blaze, for being so impulsive. I was just so worried. My voice trailed off. I frowned. What's the point in trying to fabricate an excuse when Blaze is in such a bad way? I don't have the right not when this is all my fault. Oh, never mind that. My feelings don't really matter. You're the one who's suffering here. I just hope you can forgive me. Blaze mews in response and nudges my chest with his head. I think that gesture means he's forgiven me. If he was ever holding a grudge to begin with, but I'm not sure if I deserve it. Why should I, even when I've got nothing say? Why should I, when I've done nothing, say let him down? I said I was going to help him, but I tried all sorts of things, but nothing I do seems to make you everything I do seems to make you sicker. Some great wizard I am. He continues to rub Blaze's head absently, my lips pursed all the while into a frown. I'm such an idiot. It was already the night. Aww. Later that night. Damn it, to all the hell in the world am I going to do now? So it slumped on my desk in my bedroom, my fingers whistling in my hair. I feel so despondent. I feel half of my mind to tear handful. I feel so despondent. I have half a mind to tear a handful of it out. But as I know this would not logically improve my situation, I abstain. The only way tearing my hair out might possibly prove to be useful is if my hair could be used as a catalyst for a potion powerful enough to lift Charmaine's curse. I've read a lot of books on the subject of animal transformations, and none of them seem to suggest that chunks of hair pulled out in a rage from the scalp of a malcontent wizard will be a useful ingredient in the potential remedy. I can't think of any other ingredient which might serve as a decent catalyst, however, which is where my problem lies. Been at this all day, morning and dusk, and I've not made any headway. I feel just as lost now as I did when I woke up. All the potions I've whipped up last week are worthless. In the best case scenario, they had no effect whatsoever. In the worst, they made him sick. I'm starting to worry I've caused Blaze more harm in my attempts to heal him than I did good. I can relax with I can recall with startling clarity how he reached out and wrenched when I fed him that green noxious potion. I knew even before the potion touched his lips that it would cause problems, but I was desperate enough to try anything. I wanted to believe that I might have stumbled upon something, a miracle, Pincia. But of course I didn't. I made Blaze sick, even though he seems to have recovered. He's still a cat. This isn't possible. Grab a hold of my hair a little more firmly, lost in the throbs of despair, and ow! Oh, don't do that. That hurt, damn it. I know I said I wasn't going to start ripping my own hair out, but looks like that's what I'm going to do. Oh, don't. How am I such a fool? I always used to think myself as a savant. I made some pretty experimental potions in the past, thinking nobody else has done before. But I can now see that these are nothing more than the vanity projects. I only made those potions to amuse myself. They serve no purpose beyond satisfying my own overinflated ego. I talked myself up, believing myself to be infallible, but I met my match in Charmaine. It's pathetic, really. All this time I thought it was something special. Now I can see how mistaken I was. I only believe that because I was so insolent. If I actually spent more time interacting with my peers, I've known it. I was never anything all that amazing. It's a bit too late to regrets now, however, and it's much too late to help Blaze. I should turn into a human once the clock strikes midnight once more, but from tomorrow he'll go right back to being cat. Then, if what Charmaine says is true, he'll be stuck like as a cat for the rest of his days. These next few hours are my only remaining window of opportunity. If I'm going to help him, I have to do it now. Maybe it will finish it today, since we're kind of winding it down. But I've been pushing myself so very hard for so very long. I don't have the strength needed to keep going. I always hated running into barriers, even when working on my own potions. It discourages me, probably because my ego is paper thin. Whenever I make mistakes in my own pet projects, I give myself a bit of breathing room, like a couple days off. Once I put some time between myself and my project, I'm better able to return it, with a clear head and a fresh frame of thought. I don't have the luxury of time right now, though. It's do or die, but I've already tried to do without any success. Well, there's not much doing left in me. Oh, I just want to call it quits. I don't think I can handle much more disappointment. I feel awful enough as it is, without being made to confront my own inequality. Yet again, this is a miserable experience, really. But it feels miserable. What about Blaze? Is he the one who's stuck in a really bad spot if I can't succeed? I told him that I'd help him, and when I said it, it was with full confidence. I really believed that at the time, that I could make a difference. I knew helping him would be a challenge, but thought I'd be a challenge I could overcome. I don't mind working hard if I get it rewarded for it at the end, but this has been nothing more than a slog. It isn't fun. If I was working on a potion of my own devising, probably would have given in already. But can I really do that knowing about Blaze's situation? I need to keep going. Sitting around feeling sorry for myself won't get me anywhere. I'm wasting time and I don't have much of it to waste. Get up, I tell myself sternly. Get up, you useless waste of space, and prove you're worthy of being called one of Oxel's best wizards. 1 second. Hello, Desireland Games, welcome! Ooh. Ooh, everything's slowing down. It just started. Why is it doing this already? Oh no. Wow, what's happening? It's only 15 minutes. I'm so confused. Why is it still kind of slowing down, but it looks like it's getting better? Hmm. Does it look better now? I don't know how it looks on the stream side. Oh, it doesn't look like it's slowing down as much as it was. I don't know, it's... give me 1 second. Okay, it's a little better. I, I'm gonna hope so. I'm gonna try to continue with it. If it becomes a problem again, I don't know. Someone said you must look right now, losing heart so easily. You're an eyesore. What have you even been doing these last 5 years? Don't let all your effort go to waste. Otherwise, how will you even be able to look at yourself in the mirror again? Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Tell myself this over and over again, but I can't bring myself to act on this advice. What's the point? A dark, brooding part of my brain pipes up when you'll only fail again. But it's all well and good trying to help, but you can't produce any results. You're just wasting everyone's time. I squeeze my eyes shut, yet more unpleasantly, jeering voices dance through my mind. Maybe you ought to give up. The voice has a point, but you're not helping anyone. At least it's of all yourself. Why do you even bother? At this point, I'm really starting to wonder. I thought I could do anything. I thought wrong. Maybe I'd always been wrong. I should just... Aww. Shasta, it's alright. Please don't be so hard on yourself. You don't deserve it. Aww. I can't stand seeing you like this. Ah, I must have been lost in my own self-pitying thought for quite some time, because Blaze's regained his human form. It's past midnight already. The moon is full of light. The sky, which is scattered with stars. A few days, a new day is upon me, and I've still not come any closer to finding a means to alleviating Blaze's curse. I've not done a single solitary thing. Blaze? I wince. I can feel his arms winding about me. I can feel his chin pressing against the top of my head. He's holding me so gently, I might as well be a porcelain doll. Is he afraid of shattering me? His thoughtfulness is appreciated. But right now, I'm doing a little safe further, stroking the flame of my self-loathing. I look down at the pretty uneven surface of my wooden desk and mumble. I don't know how you can say that to me. Say what? You know what? I inhale in a simple gesture, but it takes rather more effort than it should. My eyes start to sting. I hope I'm not going to cry. That would be awfully embarrassing. I don't see how you could stand behind me, being with me when I've done nothing to help. Have not done anything to help you. Why are you trying to console me anyway? I don't deserve it. I'm a failure. Hey now, listen there, Aster. I don't think you're a failure even if you do, and it's certainly not true that you've done nothing to help me. Do you really think so? Of course. I've been watching you, you know, these past few days. I might have been a cat for most of them, so I thought I couldn't exactly comment on what you were doing, but I've been working myself like a demon. I've had your nose to the grindstone for the last four days. You've barely eaten and you've hardly slept. You've been pushing yourselves to your limits, and you've been doing it for my sake. After all that, I don't see how you can say you've done nothing. If the sheer amount of work you've been putting in counts as nothing, then I dread to think how you judge me based on my life accomplishments or lack of. I never put much effort into anything myself, not for my own sake, and not for anyone else's. Not since my mother died, at least. But Blaze? My voice catches in my throat and I wince. But my eyes really are damp now, so much so I can't pretend otherwise. It isn't possible. When I blink, round pearl-like tears are disturbed from the 1 second. Let me go see something. Okay, back. Sorry. I had to go shut the door because the dog came back inside. When I blink, round pearl-like tears are disturbed from their precarious perch upon my lashes. They roll down my cheeks like rain on a window pane, and I shudder. Blaze's kindness is very sweet, but I don't understand where it's coming from. How can he afford to be so calm about this when this entire future is at stake? Doesn't he care about for forfeiting his own humanity potential forever? If I was in his position, I would hate me for giving me false hope. Heck, I'm not in his position, and I already hate me. I'm glad that you think so, I guess, but I don't get it. Shouldn't you be panicking? Do you want me to panic? Well, no, but I don't see what's the game from it. Won't help us, will it? Blaze grins and bumps his chin against the top of my head. I thought you were all for that kind of thing, Aster. Being sensible, I mean, I didn't think you were the sort to let your emotions get the better of you. I didn't think I was either. I guess you just bring it out of me. I seem to do that to people, yeah. I know I must have really pissed off Charmaine. That's how I got into this mess. I was stupid enough to steal from her, and I was stupid enough to get caught. It's all on me. None of this is your fault. You got dragged into it, and you didn't make any of this happen. I committed a crime. I gotta do the time. Or maybe I should say, face the consequences, since it's not like I'm going to get... Oh, that's... okay, that scared me. Thanks for the anonymous gift sub. Thank you so much. Get thrown in jail over this, but now I'm gonna be a cat for all my days. Twitch has this new thing that I think I can technically make gift subs like discount, and I want to try that out, but I haven't wanted to do it while I'm playing this game since I only play this like short times, and I rather like turn that on when it's like more worth it to I don't know. I might look into it like whatever game I play next. I guess that's an improvement over being in the slammer, though, isn't it? I don't know, is it? Oh, being a cat's not all that bad. It took a bit getting used to having four legs and all, but I've had a bunch of experience. More or less natural now. I'm pretty good at hunting down birds and mice. I get to keep my freedom, if nothing else. That's worst fates I could have had, really. Play sounds light enough. He's even laughing at it about his plight, like it's no big deal. But I don't buy it. Hey, Fishbone. It means let me see if I can remember my keybinds for this. I don't know if I remember them. There, it's this. It's 10 minutes of this. Okay. Okay, we'll do crap time. Okay, let me... Yeah, 10 minutes. It's probably gonna be... I'll probably keep it on longer because I'm probably gonna forget, but... But yeah, this, technically this avatar is based on a friend's webcomic. I don't have a link for it right now, but if you look up, Unconditional Fate on Webtoons by A Chromatic Colorless, that's what this is a reference to. I think he's trying to cheer me up, which If he is, it's very admirable of him, but it isn't working. I can see through him. I grit my teeth together, tears still beating in the corner of my eyes, then say, "Don't, please. Don't what? Don't act like you don't care. Not when I know you do. It's too painful." Push Blaze away, using strength I didn't know I had, then scowl at him. I like it if you scowl looked I like it if my scowl looked intimidating, or at least very impressive. But it seems unlikely. My shoulders are still shaking and my eyes are damp with tears. Despite that, however, I'm still able to choke out a damp, indignant, "Stop trying to console me. I don't deserve it. I might have been trying to help you, but trying is no good. Not when it doesn't yield results. Everything I've been doing up until this point has been pointless. You can tell me you'll be fine as a cat until you're blue in the face, but it won't make me feel better about all of this. How can it when I've let you down so badly? If I wasn't so incompetent, none of this would have happened. But I guess, but I am, and it is, and by the stars, my voice trails off. In a coughing, I bury my head in my hands. Any pretense of intimidation long since spent. Why does it hurt so much? You should hate me. I don't understand why you don't. Why aren't you angrier with me? It's what I deserve. Aster. Blaze blinks. He looks looks me up and down. I can feel his gaze on me despite my blade fingers, which are pressed over my eyes, and then say, "I'd be a lie, I guess, if I said I wasn't a little worried about all of this." Only a little worried," he says. That's an understatement if I ever heard one. But I'm really not mad at you, even if you might be mad at yourself. And I definitely don't hate you. I could never do that. But why not? Well, why should I hate you? Blaze approaches me. He reaches out his arms and... Aww. He pulls me to him, pressing me into an embrace. I'm not going to hate you for trying, even if you didn't succeed. I know you're pretty hard on yourself, but I'm not going to validate your own self-hatred. There are worse things that Charmaine could have done to make me then curse me to become a cat. I got off pretty lucky, actually, when I think about all the other things she could have done to me. And I think everything will be alright, really, so long as I can stay with you. You want to stay with me? Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? There's nowhere else I'd rather be. As long as you'll have me. I mean, I don't want to be presumptuous. I know I can be pretty annoying. I'm sure I've annoyed the crap out of you already, but being with you this last week, I don't know. It's been weird, sure, but I haven't hated it. It was kind of nice, actually, having somewhere I could call home and somebody I can call a friend to. If I'm not making too many assumptions. Oh no, I don't think it's too hasty. inhale, then in a shaking voice I say, I've liked being with you too. You have? Yeah, I was alone for a while, so having you around, it's been kind of nice, I guess. It makes my house feel a little less lonely, at least. Not that I was lonely, you understand. Being on my own was never really bothers me. It's spending time with people that I can't stand. They're so loud, obnoxious too. I don't get along with them. I never did, at least back at school. I was always the odd one out. Maybe because I was from a poor family. My other classmates were all like Angelique. I think that they looked down on me. They didn't like that I did so well, I guess, despite coming from a pretty humble background. They never let me forget that I was inferior to them, either. It was all pretty stressful. Oh man, it doesn't sound like you had much fun at that fancy school of yours. Not particularly. But it's not like I had to endure any great soul-shattering trauma either. I mean, both my parents are still alive. My family aren't rich, but I never had to turn to petty thievery so I could afford to eat. I had a roof over my head and clothes to wear. I was lucky comparatively speaking. I don't think I have any right to complain. Well, he smiles. Riley, it's true enough that my own childhood was pretty shitty. I didn't think I really had the opportunity to be a kid, since I had to look after my mother, and not that I resent her for it, you understand, but couldn't exactly help being sick. She didn't do it despite me. She wanted the best for me. I know that. It broke her heart when she couldn't provide for me. She always beats herself over it. A little like you were doing, I guess. I didn't like it when my mother started getting all guilty, and I didn't like it when you do it either. You're a good person, Aster. Your classmates all said I was snobby and self-important. Well, maybe you are, just a bit. Do you think it's appreciated? But I don't mind that. It makes sense after everything you've been through. And besides, that only makes it more worthwhile when you finally smile or laugh. You didn't say you liked my laughter, yeah? You did say you liked my laughter, yeah? I still do, not that I've had much of a chance to hear it. It was pretty cute though. I'd love to hear you laugh like that again. But I guess the mood's not exactly right for it. Not really. I figured, yeah. It's a pity, but Lace smiles and caresses my cheek with his palm. His fingers splayed across my skin. I think I've been a little lost ever since my mother died. Spent so much time trying to look out for her. I didn't know what to do with myself once she was gone. I had no direction in life, and no purpose either. I was horribly alone myself, and I felt so lost. It's different with you though. You've gone out of your way to help me this last week, though we were strangers. I guess it's resonant. Resonant? Ugh. Whatever. I've always been the one looking out for others, you see. Because I'm not used to being fussed over myself. But it really did make me happy. Being with you makes me happy. I like you a lot, and I don't think that's ever gonna change. Even if you stay stuck as a cat for the rest of your days. Sure, I might not be able to hug you like I can now, but I can at least rub my head against your leg and you'll still stroke me. I think I'd like that. Oh, how shameless. I didn't realize you were into bed. Okay. I say this in a cool handoff sort of way, which makes Blaze laugh. His laughter is deep and rich. It sounds deeper still, given our close proximity, and it makes me smile. My eyes are still damp and my throat is all sore from sobbing. I still feel all caught up about this, but I'd like to stay with you too, though I think I'd prefer you were a human. Really now? Lee snickers. I thought you preferred me as a cat. Doesn't that make it harder for me to answer back? It does, yeah. But I like talking to you despite yourself. If you could remain a human, then, well, maybe it would be nice if I could take you on as my apprentice if you'd like. Aw. You could still live here. We could live together and we could try and be happy together maybe. Aw. I think I like that. Now, isn't that a nice idea? Blaze grins, then bumps his forehead against my own. Like that too. Thank you for looking out for me, Aster. It's no problem. This is all hypothetical anyways, I mean. Glance away. My face is a little flushed from all the continued contact. I'm not used to being hugged by anyone other than my mother. Being pressed against Blaze's chest isn't an unpleasant feeling, however. His arms are pretty thick, and his broad chest is soothing. It makes me feel like I matter. I really do like him. I like him a lot, but it couldn't help you break your curse. You're going to wind up turning into a cat again. True, but that's a bit of a bummer. It'll be hard for me to be your apprentice if I don't have any opposable thumbs, huh? But Aster, I just had a thought. Yes? Look at Blaze impassively, and brows furrowed. This isn't going to be something stupid again, is it? Might be, but I figured it'd be worth trying regardless, just to see, you know. I'm kind of curious, so. Blaze grins and says, "Oh, I know what he's gonna do. You wanna try doing that thing again?" What thing? I mean, the kiss, of course, silly. He chuckles and gives me my middle a squeeze. It didn't work before, but we'd only just met back then. We were still strangers, and I get the feeling you didn't like me at all that much. I guess only happened under duress. There's no way it could have been true love's kiss. We're a bit closer now, though, so maybe things will work out in our favor. I don't have much faith in it, but it might be worth a try. You want to give it a go? I mean, if it fails. Blaze leans in, his fingers still cupping my cheek. This might be their last chance to get to do anything like this with you. Since I'm still a human, I figured might as well, if you wouldn't mind. I don't know. I look up at Blaze tumultuously. My cheeks are still damp from my previous crying session. How embarrassing. And my eyes sting. I don't feel particularly kissable at this moment in time. But then again, I never do. I never have. Never imagined that anyone would even want me like this. Not since this moment. Maybe that's why I tried to push all thoughts of romance from my mind. Thought it was a waste of time, nothing more a mere distraction from my job. I doubt I had ever meet anyone who really cared for me, but maybe I was wrong. At least sure seems to. I don't know if he's asking purely out of desperation, an attempt to break this curse, but what the heck? I tried everything else to no avail. What do I have to lose at this point? I don't think it'll work, but I guess there's no harm in trying it. Didn't you want to? I don't mind. I mean, it's not like I've been thinking about it ever since we started hugging me or anything. Oh, that would just be embarrassing. He's been thinking about it for a couple days. Like, like I feel like it's basically everything he's been thinking about. Let's try it. Right, Blaze pauses. He might have been the one suggesting this, but he looks unusually embarrassed. Is his face turning red? I have half a mind to pull away, to tell him not to waste his time if he isn't actually being serious, but I don't know how much experience with this kind of thing, so I'm sorry in advance if I'm too rough, but it goes nothing. My heart wasn't hammering so hard. So Blaze that I don't actually find this moment romantic, the most romantic way of instigating a kiss. Or I'm not giving it a chance to say anything. Blaze is already dipping his head. He exhales, his breath warm against my cheek. Then his mouth meets mine. I don't know very much about kissing. This is only the second time I've attempted it, but this feels different than the first kiss I exchanged with Blaze. It feels more, I'm not sure, more meaningful somehow. My heart was already fluttering before we pressed our lips together. But now that they are, it really does feel like it might burst. My face, meanwhile, was burning. I can't see how I look, but I bet my cheeks are red as a pair of peonies. My eyes remain open for a few moments, frozen in shock, as Blaze's lips overlap mine. This really does last for a few moments. Eventually, I feel myself relaxing into the kiss. My eyelids fall shut as I let Blaze take the lead. Cuffs my cheek gently, possessively, and tips my head upwards. I let Blaze manipulate my body however he wants. At this point, my legs feel so weak I'd collapse if he wasn't there to support me, and part my mouth willingly against his. I feel something damp against my lower lip, and then against my teeth. Is that his tongue? He isn't, is he? But he is. The first kiss we shared was perfunctory. Was a perfunctory affair which lasted only a few moments, but this one is much deeper. It's unlike anything I'd ever experienced before, but I don't dislike it. Tip of Blaze's tongue nudges mine, and I grasp my body, tensing against his own. I feel so horribly embarrassed, both at our proximity and at the noises I'm making. I could die. But despite that, I still don't want to stand for a kiss that's supposed to be the final resort. This feels surprisingly good. We continue to kiss for a moment more, for a few moments more. Blaze's fingers still splayed against my cheek, until Blaze finally draws away. He exhales, so careless, caressing my cheeks, and looks at my eyes, which seems to smolder. His chest which is pushed up against my own. is rising and falling in his own face is a little flesh from our exertions. Gossamer strands of saliva connects Blaze's lips, which are pursued, which are pursed to my own, though it soon snaps. This almost feels like a bit of a pity. It was kind of nice seeing a physical manifestation of mine and Blaze's closeness. But I guess his arms are wrapped around my waist. We're plenty close already. Am I being greedy? Jeez, this is so strange. I don't think I've ever been particularly demanding when it comes to attention from others. I've always been the exact opposite. It's different, however, when it comes to Blaze. I don't quite understand why I feel the way I feel, but oh wow. Blaze smiles at me, his face still flushed, his cheeks still heaving. It's good to know, I guess, that I'm not the only one who's all mixed up about this. I'm starting to get worried. This was very... wow. Yes, that was... You said that already. Is that supposed to be a good thing? It's a great thing. You're amazing, Aster. Amazing? My face, which was already red, turns even redder. I think you're giving me a bit too much credit. And I didn't think you were giving yourself enough credit. That was great. Well, I'm glad you seem to think so. I'm not sure what to say though. These pouts. Are you really going to stand there, Aster, and say you didn't get a kick out of that when your face is all red? Don't tell me that was all an act, and you weren't actually into it. No. That isn't it. I enjoyed it, really. I did, but I wasn't so sure about you. Oh, I see. Do you think I'm exaggerating or worse, lying to spare your feelings? I don't know, maybe. I'm not sure. You've had better. I'm sure you had better. You can be sure. You can be as sure as you want, but you still be mistaken. Really? Yes, really. I don't know if I mentioned this before. Maybe it didn't come up, but I'm not the rogue you seem to think I am. That first time we kissed a few days ago, well, it was his first time too. That was my first kiss, as a matter of fact. I gasped, taking entirely off guard. I assumed wrongly, I guess, that Blaze had a lot more experience in regards to relationships than me. Certainly conducts himself like he does, in a very smooth, self-confident manner. He doesn't seem to have any issues speaking with other people. He was so chatty during our first meeting. I assumed he had people falling for him all the time, but maybe not. He shouldn't have been so quiet to jump to conclusions. And to think I scolded Blaze for his hastiness. It might be just as bad as he is. Then, I was your first? You were, yeah. And you were my second, too. And I might just be your last if it doesn't work and you get stuck as a cat. Maybe so, but I'd say hearing you moan made it all worthwhile. I wasn't moaning. I scowl, stunned by this accusation. Is that what that was? I'm not sure, but Blaze I think it's been way past 10 minutes. We'll switch back to this. I'm not sure, but Blaze's amused laughter doesn't make me feel any better. He's having way too much fun. He's having way too much fun at my expense. It's not like I was moaning that much, even if I was, you know? You should expect it. It's not like you've kissed anyone else before either. You say that like it's supposed to be this huge revelation. But I guess, but I did have an inkling, yeah. Oh really? What gave it away? Was I really that awful at kissing? If you were, I wouldn't know. I don't have any experience myself. Ah, yes, of course. It really is a case of blind leading the blind, huh? Absolutely, and it's amateur hour up here for real. But no, I didn't assume it was your first kiss because you're a catastrophically terrible kisser. I just thought, it makes sense, doesn't it? I don't know, does it? Yeah, I mean, you always say you don't like people very much. Thought you'd give them the opportunity to get close to you. Guess I ought to consider myself lucky that you let me kiss you at all, Mr. Great and Powerful Wizard. Don't start with that. You should know how I feel about the wizard title right now. I know. Seems like your feelings are a bit all over the place. But no matter how you feel, I still care about you. I'm flattered that you let me kiss you, both last time and tonight. I'm just sorry, I suppose, that your first kiss had to be with a scoundrel like me. You are a bit of a scoundrel, that it's true. And a thief besides. But it's alright. You don't have to apologize for kissing me. No? No. If I hadn't wanted you to do it, I wouldn't have let you. I don't really mind. It was a bit awkward at that first time, sure, but just now, what we did, it felt pretty good, I guess. And not that I have anything to compare it to. Well, I'm very glad to hear it. I enjoyed it a lot myself. In fact, I might have enjoyed it a bit too much. Too much? Yeah, it was a bit hard pulling myself away from you, actually. But you've been pushing yourself hard. You're hard for far too long. You look positively dead on your feet. I don't want to push you even harder. So how about we get some shut-eye? You look like you could use it. Oh no, it's fine really. Blaze wanted to kiss me some more. Wouldn't necessarily object to it. But part of me jeez, words. Part of me might be hoping, actually. I want to go in for another dose of medicinal kissing, but in case the first go didn't work. But alas. Sorry, but I'm not letting you try that with me. No, I know you too well, Aster. I can see right through you, and your excuses aren't particularly convincing. Be honest now. If it wasn't for me, you would have toppled over a long time ago, wouldn't you? So he knows that much. Darn, and I thought it was so smooth too. Guess he's got me. I really am exhausted. Have I been pushing myself too much? Since I've not had any results to speak of, I feel like I haven't been pushing myself enough. But I think Blaze might be onto something. What time is it? I'm not sure. I might not be able to finish this, and there's probably not much left. I yawn, tears beating in my eyes, tears which, for once, have nothing to do with my own feelings of inadequacy. I brush these stray tears tears away from my eyes, which must be red and swollen by now, and say, Maybe you're right. I'm a little sleepy. I know I'm right. You're struggling to keep your eyes open here. Let's get you to bed right now. I reckon that's the best place for you. Right. Lead the way then. But of course, after you, my liege. I don't say that, please. It's another yawn. Really creepy. Sorry. I forget you used to work for a wealthy family. I've got the I did used to work for a wealthy family. I've got the mannerisms all down. I'm actually pretty good at bowing and scraping and being sycophantic. You haven't even seen me in full-blown manservant mode just yet. I bet I could make your heart flutter. Yeah, whatever. When my eyes tirelessly, the blaze extinguishes the candlelight in the room, then escorts me to my... No, maybe I should say maybe I should say our bed. He helps me down and joins me beneath the sheets. Blaze's concern is so effusive. I'd probably find it annoying if I was any less tired. But I'm exhausted. I actually appreciate it. Here we go. Are you alright like this, Aster? You don't mind if I nip with you, do you? What? No, another yawn. It's fine. Why would I mind? We did yesterday already. Oh! Hi, Aster. Sorry, I didn't see you come in. Hi. Welcome. I know we did, but you can be kind of flighty about this kind of thing. I figured I'd ask just in case. I wouldn't want to get too comfortable. I snort. I can't believe you're getting worried about this now, after you literally just kissed me. I'm hardly gonna refuse. I didn't think you would, but you can be a little prickly sometimes. You were the one who said you were born from a cactus, weren't you? Maybe I was once upon a time. I shift a little closer to Blaze, then rest my head against his chest. Under other circumstances, I try to put as much distance between him and myself as possible. But things have never been less normal in my life, and that's without factoring in my curious relationship with my founding new cat. I never did imagine that kissing Blaze would ever feel so good. Maybe it's the fatigue talking. I doubt I'd let myself get so emotional, honestly, if I didn't feel so exhausted. But lying with him like this is pretty relaxing. I like being with him. Blaze? Yeah? I just want you to know, before we go to sleep, that no matter what happens, I pause, inhale, and shyly I mutter, I'll still like you. Oh? Blaze smiles. So you do like me then? A little, I guess. Wouldn't have let you kiss me otherwise. Not easy, you know. I know. I think you're actually incredibly difficult. I had heard, yeah. I know I can be a little pissy, but yawn and mutter. Wish I could have helped you more. And I kept saying, though for some reason you refused to listen to me, that it's alright. I don't mind if you couldn't do more. did your best, and I think that's good enough. Are you sure? I'm positive. Now stop beating yourself up. Other people do that enough for you. And I like you best, and I like you the best when you're smiling. Oh no, I'll wind up hating. You'll wind up hating me soon enough then. I hardly ever smile. I know you don't, and it feels like a pity. It's really, you're a real cutie. But even if you don't feel up to smiling, I'll still like you regardless. We're almost to the end, and I don't know if my laptop will last that long. I want to finish it at least. Oh no. Are you sure? Positive. I'm not as flighty as you might think. I did spend a lot of my life helping out my mother, after all. You're underestimating how loyal I am. I thought it was dogs that were supposed to be loyal. Cats are cats are. I think cats are loyal. Mine are, at least. They're very needy too, especially Sora. Cats or dogs, it makes no difference. Hell, I'd want to stay with you even if Jermaine had turned me into a newt or a bat. Or maybe a toad. You could count yourself lucky she didn't. All those animals are used as parts from potions. Jeez, you're not saying you'll hurl me into a cauldron and boil me, do you? I might have. If a bat had fallen down my chimney, I'd consider it fair play, actually, since you got my workplace all city. But I can't bring myself to cook cats, even if they're good for some potions too. I'm glad. Okay. I'm glad it sounds like I was able to avoid a bad ending. At least Charmaine was thoughtful enough to turn me into something cute. Bats are cute. And so are newts. I think they're all cute. At the start of this, he also said ferrets and stoats weren't cute, and those are also cute. I don't fully. Oh, my mouse is doing that weird thing. Don't know why, but it's whatever. It doesn't really matter though. Whether I'm a cat or a human, I still want to stay with you. So try not to worry so much. Lays leans in the sheets shifting about us, and gently he presses a kiss against my forehead. I know it's part of your nature, but I don't think it's worth all this hassle. Never wanted to make you worry. Silly. I pout. You're definitely worth the worry. You're definitely worth the worry. Yee. Wait, what? Yeah, it's so close to the end. It's so close to the end. I don't, because the way I get it to slow down is I unplug my laptop, and so that's the main reason why 50 minutes is kind of been the limit recently. And when I plug it back in, it's gonna slow down again. Definitely not worth the worry. You're worth a lot, actually. At least you are to me, even if I'm annoying. Everybody annoys me, so you're less annoying than most people, though. And you know what? What? I don't think I'd mind being annoyed by you. No? Is that meant to be a confession, Aster? Take it however you want. I'm too tired to pick apart the finer intricacies of what I just said. You can't be that tired. I was gonna say, if you can manage a complicated word like intricacies, but you're yawning something fierce. Are you alright? let another man kiss me, and now we're sharing the same bed. So what do you think? Sounds like you're pretty alright to me. I've definitely had worse nights, I suppose. I nuzzle my head against Blaze's chest. What the fuck is why? I have why? What is that? What the fuck? Come. What is this? Shit, what did I just do? Oh no, it's still up. Ah! I have no idea what's happening right now. Why is it doing this? Come on, stop it. I'm going to save in case. I have like I'm so close to the end. Ah. Ah, give me. Wait, what? Why? That. When did I click that keybind? God, I hate my computer so much. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can do something. think it's fine. But really, I'm gonna try to get to see it. We'll try. I nestle my head against Blaze's chest. At least whatever that like thing was stopped. Nestle my head against Blaze's chest. I think it's my controller too. I don't know. It's both happening only when this game is open, but like at least right now, like I can. Yeah, the controller issue is done. It's fixed, I think. Close my head against Blaze's chest. My eyelids fall shut. My breath begins to even out, slowly but surely. And at long last, I fell asleep. It seems really good right now. Oh, I hope it stays like this for at least, I don't know. Hopefully it's not too much. The next morning. Oh, he's still, yay, it worked. Up, hey, Esther, wake up. What? I'm awoken the following morning, not by Blaze licking my cheek, but by a soft, gentle voice. What's going on? It's been a while since the last since I last woken up by anybody human. I mean, my mother used to haul me out of bed in the morning, but this was many years ago, back when I was still a small child. By the time I became a teenager, she soon realized there was little point trying to shivvy me out of bed at a reasonable hour. I always wound up wrapping my blankets around myself and ignoring her. Nobody woke me up during my time at Oleander Academy either, which might have been disastrous had I slept through the night like most of my pupils, but this wasn't so very bad. I so rarely slept at night. I'd often stay awake for 36 hours. Oh, that's not good. For 36 hours at a time, and head off to class fresh from the productive night spent in the library or in the potions classroom researching and working. Despite my awful track record of getting up in the morning, I did miss I didn't miss all that many classes. Might have fallen asleep during some of my lessons, sure, particularly the more talky ones like astrology, but I always turned up. It's been a long time since I was woken up like this, but... Aster, hey, wait, wiki, rise and shine. I don't know if I like it very much. Oh, whoa, actually double click that. I think I can go back. Whoever's calling out to me is being awfully persistent about it. I don't know if I don't know if I like it very much. Whoever's calling me is very awful. Wait, what? I don't know if that... I didn't love being licked into wakefulness by Blaze, but that felt less intrusive then. Come on, Sleeping Beauty. I've got something really neat to show you. You wanna join the land of the living? Then whatever this is. Alright. My eyelids snap open and feeling more a little aggrieved, I shout. I'm up already. I'm wide awake. You don't need to keep bothering me is what I meant to say. But my rebuke dies at the tip of my tongue. I'm staring into a pair of eyes that look very familiar, so much so it sends a shiver down my spine. A new day has dawned, but still Blaze is still in this human form. His long dark hair is tangled about his cheeks, and upon his face he's wearing an amused smile. He doesn't have pointy ears, and he doesn't have a tail. He's a human man, though, through and through, and he's lying incredibly close to me beneath the sheets. His broad, firm chest is all pressed up against mine, and when he laughs, I can feel it rumbling. I stare at Blaze with eyes widening, then say, very softly, "Did the curse finally wear off?" It sure looks like it, yeah. Unless Charmaine's toying with me again, and I'm all sorts of, and I'm all set to turn into Kitty at some predetermined points in the future. Think that's likely? I don't know. You're the one who, you're the expert when it comes to magic, aren't you? I really couldn't tell. Maybe, but you're the expert when it comes to Charmaine. You should know what she's like. I know enough. I know she never much liked me, but also knows she was pretty into romance stories. She was? She was always laughing about her parents' fancy home, her nose buried in some books or another. Never gave them much attention myself. I'm not really into reading, you see. How that, what a surprise, not? But I could tell that you were about more or less based on the covers. She's really into princesses and lavish balls and true love's kiss. She's really into princes and I don't know. Yeah, my controller went off again. Okay, so it's definitely a controller. I think it's probably a mix. Both my PC just being stupid and also my controller being stupid. That's why I thought a kiss might do it. The trick during the first night. I wouldn't have suggested it otherwise. Not that I didn't think, of course, that you weren't attractive. 'Cause I did. I still do. I suggested more out of pragmatism than anything else, though. I was trying to be smart. Yes, I'm sure you did. That was very clever of you, but it didn't work. Like, I need you to remind me. I know our first attempt was a wash, but you know what they say. What? The second time's the charm. I think that's got what we got up to last night might have done the trick. Hey, pull a face. I'm trying to keep my calm, which is no easy feat, given there's a handsome man only a few centimeters away from me, but I do my best. The odds are stacked against me, but I've never been one to back down from a challenge. Don't say what we got up to last night. Makes it sound like we did was more indecent than it was. All we did was kiss, and I thought the saying was third time's the charm. It is. That's what I always heard. Well, perhaps we ought to go for a third round just to make sure. What do you think? I don't. I mean, how cute. Cat got your tongue? Or are you more upset that the cat doesn't have your tongue? Not literally, no. I was just thinking. I stare at Blaze, all while stammering effectually, my face flushed from our close proximity. I've still not managed to wrap my head around all of this. Feels much too convenient for me to fully accept it. I'm sorry, Blaze, but I think you're going to have to pinch me. Why would you want that? I don't want to hurt you. That's very gentlemanly of you, but this is serious. I need to know if this is really real, because right now it feels way too much like a dream. Is that so? Blaze chuckles, his breath warms against my cheek. I'm glad that it's not a nightmare, at least, though really that should be my line. I'm the one who made a miraculous recovery after all. But you know what? What? I think I can do you one better. Pinches are pretty cliche, and I wouldn't want to hurt you. Not when you're so... I'm not scrawny. Delicate, I was gonna say. Blaze chuckles again, in that maddeningly endearing way, which makes me want to poke him and fist my poke him and fist my fingers in the front of his shirt, bury my head in his chest. You're shaking so much already. What a little leaf. But maybe this'll help you steady you. There's nothing else. I have to prove that this isn't a dream. Blaze leans in, his chest pressing against my own. Feels his breath against my cheeks then. Aww. His lips meet my own. He's kissing me just like it was last night. But this time, the light which is spilling through the cracks of the curtain in a pale pink rose light of the early morning. The last two kisses I exchanged with Blaze were conducted when it was pitch black outside. This is very different. Blaze kisses me gently and slowly, so he has all the time in the world. Maybe he does. As unbelievable as it might seem. It looks like the curse is gone, at long last been broken. The morning he dawned, and Blaze hasn't turned back into a cat. He's regained his human form, and we're together, and I don't want to let him go. I've never been much liked people. My school years left me awful misanthrope. But I have to wonder, now that Blaze holds me in his muscular arms and presses upon me a series of gentle kisses, whether my judgments were too hasty. It's not like I'm going to go through any sudden personality change. I still think people are pretty unbearable for the most part, but it's hard to maintain an icy demeanor about Blaze. I don't even want to maintain it. More than happy to let him thaw me out. I don't have much experience with relationships. This is pretty scary, but being with Blaze isn't all that bad. No guarantee that we'll always be happy together. We are pretty different, but we'll never know until we give it a shot. I've been away from people for the majority of my adult life, afraid of being hurt. But even if Blaze does wind up hurting me, I think it would be worthwhile. Aww. There's no pleasure without a little pain, bit of pain, and right now I'm happier than I've been in a long time. I'm so happy, in fact, I feel compelled to share at least a little bit of that happiness with Blaze. Leaning into the kiss, winding my arms around Blaze's shoulder, and I deepen the kiss, twinning my tongue with his own. I don't think Blaze expected me to be quite so forward. Neither did I, if I'm being honest, because he gasped, his lips part against mine, and I bring our mouths together even more intimately, wet and wanting. I can taste Blaze's saliva on my tongue. It doesn't have much of a flavor, but it's still enough to make my head spin. If possible, I like to keep kissing him over and over again. I might have been 26, but know very little about human relations. Now that Blaze is a human again, probably, I mean, I think it's high time I learned. Who else am I going to be able to practice with? I don't like being bad at the endeavors I attempt. If kissing Blaze is going to become a regular occurrence, I hope it will be, then I need to try and get better at it. I'm not going to let him beat me. At least that's what I tell myself as I continue to kiss Blaze. Maybe I'm being a bit shameless. Blaze is starting to whimper, but this really does feel good. I think I could get addicted to this. Aww. I spent most of the morning trying to Blaze in the bed, engaged in the very important affairs such as kissing, and more kissing. I lie on my back, Blaze atop me, as we mesh our mouths together repeatedly, finding new and interesting ways to make one another whimper. I think this is going a little more than kissing at this point. Sometimes Blaze cups my cheek with one hand, the other times he skims his fingers across my hair, pulls my waist against him, and he pins me to the bed. Yeah, this is... And he even nudges his knees against a rather sensitive part of my body during all this experimenting. By accident, I think. He springs back after he does this, red-faced, and apologizes. I'm not too interested in his apologies. I'd rather kiss him more and more, and so I do. Still, I'm not accustomed to romance. I tell myself I'm only sensible. It's only sensible that I take this newfound opportunity to become more intimately acquainted with the act, more intimately acquainted with Blaze. I tell myself my studies are purely scientific, but, well, as much as I like depending my knowledge on various subjects, I have begun to enjoy kissing simply for my own sake. It feels so good. In fact, it requires a lot of effort for me to finally pull myself away from him, but I know that's what I have to do. I'm happy that the curse has been broken, but we can't leave things as they are. That's why when Blaze and I are later eating breakfast, I say, I think you should apologize to Charmaine. I think I'm being perfectly reasonable, but Blaze doesn't seem to agree. He pouts, his hair rumpled and his lips a little swollen from our earlier exertion, and say in a sudden sullen, sulky voice, "Do I really have to, Aster?" "Yes, you have to." But why? I don't want to do anything go anywhere near her. Last time I saw her and I looked like this, she cursed me. She thought you were stealing. You really did bring it upon yourself. Well, yeah, I guess. But she hates my guts. If you're hoping we might kiss and make up, it's not possible. The only person I want to kiss is you. I blushed and glanced away, as memories of our moment swirled about in the forefront of my mind. I'm glad he feels that way, but stop distracting me. I'd rather stay in and kiss you too, but you have to be you have some responsibilities as a fellow human being. You're not a cat anymore, so you need to start acting like it. You need to try and rectify things. And he's probably gonna like tell him back that he probably has to make up with Angelique. I'm not suggesting that we visit Charmaine, you know, because I want to make you squirm. Though that, I must admit, is quite an amusing thought in its own way. Maybe I'm a bit of a bully. Wouldn't know, given I don't spend enough time with people on the whole to understand how I prefer to interact with them. I always thought I didn't prefer to interact with people, full stop, but maybe I was mistaken. I'm suggesting this because I think it's the right thing to do. That is wrong, regardless of your reasons. You might have suffered in the past, but two wrongs don't make a right. Now that you've returned to your human form, you really ought to apologize. That's only proper. His rumps. He Doesn't look too thrilled about my suggestion, but that doesn't come to a surprise. I didn't think he would be. Since he did. Since when did you care about what was proper, Aster? You were pretty rude to that noble lady who came. Yeah, he's gonna. Who came to bother you, weren't you? You mean Angelique? Yeah, her. The one with all the hair. She seemed pretty mad at you. Well, I did fail to brew her potion on time. Can't blame her too much. I know I wronged her. But you did far worse to Charmaine. If you don't want to be told to hold a grudge, you have to come with me. I can try to apologize on your behalf, but I think did that reflect pretty poorly on you. You don't want her to think you're a coward, do you? Well, of course not. Not planning to talk to her without me, are you? Might just be. What of it? I know you know you can't do that. I really would look awful then. Like I was treating you like an errand boy. Yes, I suppose I might come across that way. Is that not the impression you want Charmaine to have of our relationship? Of course not. I don't really care about getting her forgiveness. I think that that bridge has been burnt already. But I don't want anyone thinking I don't treat you well. You mean the world to me, Aster. Oh, well, good. I am very glad you think so. I like you a lot too, which is why I want to try and make amends with Charmaine. I think it do you some good in the long run. I don't want you being so afraid of her. You can't head into Oxel in case you run into her. I'm not afraid of her. Why are you shaking then? I'm not. he definitely is. I mean, it makes sense that he would as well. I'm not. I mean, I really couldn't care less any way or the other. I'm so sure. But if you think that'll help, then, well, you do read a lot of books. You're pretty smart. You're a lot cleverer than I am, at least. I thank you. I'm glad you noticed. So if you think this is a good idea, I guess I'd better get along with it. Just to see, I guess. I mean, how else could it be? I'm sure it'll be fine. After all, Liz smiles at me and his eyes crinkling the corner, he said, I'll be with you. Later that day. Well. Look what the cat dragged in. That's the common saying, at least. But maybe under these circumstances, it'd be more appropriate to say, look at the cat who dragged himself in. Charmaine giggles while observing myself in plays with her overstuffed armchair. She toyed with one of her pigtails, which is even as uneven as I remember then says, I'm glad you turned back, Blaze. I was sure you would after I saw the way Mr. Wizard was bonding over you during our last visit. But it's nice to have some confirmation. You two must have been pretty close. Am I right or am I right? Huh? Blaze, who doesn't fluster easy, I know from experience, now turns a brilliant shade of sunset red. What do you mean we got close? What does that have to do with you? It has everything to do with me, surely. I'm the one who put that curse on you, don't forget. Of course, I'm happy to see that you broke it, though I was banking on you being stuck as a cat for just a little while longer. Wanted to see you panic. I think you deserve a bit of trauma after everything you did to my poor father. But it's like it is is my romance stories. Your love always wins in the end. Ah, Charmaine pouts. You two are so lovey-dovey. I'm a little kinda jealous. You're all over one another. When am I going to find a handsome prince of my own, Nanny? I'm sure you will find a wonderful man or lady. Well, you are old enough. Lord Valere does not think it's wise, clever to introduce you to any eligible bachelors before your 18th year. He does it to protect you. It's for your own good. I think Daddy is a bit too protective, if you ask me. I'm not a child. Living here is so boring. I'd even be alright with a beautiful princess if she offered to whisk me well out of the awful Armand's clutches, or maybe even a beautiful maid. Have you ever wanted to marry into nobility, Nanny? You might be able to afford some nice dresses then. I'm sure you'd look pretty as a picture. Milady, please. Do not start with this again. Not in front of your guest. Red-faced Nanette shoots at an awkward look at Blaze and myself while Charmaine giggles. At least Blaze isn't the only person Charmaine likes teasing to within an inch of their life. I wonder if that makes Blaze feel any better or not. Oh, don't be such a old fleshpot, Nanny. You're the last. They're the last people to judge after everything they've been up to. I'm sure you should have been well aware that love takes all sorts of forms. It's not the 17th century anymore. You can buy all sorts of interesting love stories now, not just ones about men and women. Not just the other day, I was reading an interesting poem about a young man and a werewolf, which was most. Milady, please stop at once. Behavior is quite unpardonable. If Lady Valere were to hear this, then she'd faint in shock, I know. Jeez, you never let me have any fun, Nanny. I'll let you read those questionable books, though. I am beginning to rethink my position on this matter. You are quite unmanageable. Oh, don't be so uptight. If you're a young maiden in love, what could be so very bad about that? Who are you in love with? You have no suitors. In fact, you yourself complained of. I am in love with the idea of love, of course. I think it's wonderful. I'll never turn my nose up when it comes to romance. Not even between a grumpy wizard like you, mister, and your wicked, duplicitous, thieving ex-cat. All forms of love are worthy of, in my eyes. You've been talking about love at a great length, but I don't understand. You insinuating that Blaze and I are in a relationship? But of course. And I'm not just insinuating it. I know that it's true. She isn't wrong exactly. The first blush on Blaze's face is probably giving him away, but not on what grounds do you have to base that exactly? You haven't figured it out? Jermaine blinked at me, all girlishly innocent before responding. Just think about it, Mr. Wizard. I thought you were meant to be clever. What's the most popular way of breaking a curse? Think about all of your fairy tales. That would be not true love's kiss. Exactly. I think it's such a lovely idea that I had to work. That I had to work. Oh, so she lied. She didn't know the cure. Okay. But I had to work it into my magic. I had Blazing enchantment all set up so it'll break the moment somebody who loved him gave him a smooch. Don't you think that's charming? Oh my. Does that mean the pair of you are a couple? Well, one doesn't like to be bandy it. well, one doesn't like to bandy it about, but yes, I suppose we are. We were able to break the curse between us, as a matter of fact, but this is interesting. What is? You told us, yeah, you told us when we came to see you that you didn't know how to lift the curse. You said you had no earthly idea. Oh, I know, I remember that. Then why didn't you mention it sooner? Why'd you have made it this difficult as possible? Well, why not? You did steal from my household. Don't forget that. I don't think I was under any obligations to tell you how to get back to your usual body. Not when that was supposed to be a punishment. I wanted to make you squirm for a little bit, as befitting a rotten thief like you. And well, telling you would defeat the point. You can't force true love. It's something that has to develop naturally. If I had told you, you'd probably set off into Hoxel, trying to kiss every person around. That would have been a disaster. You would have caused public disturbance. I think I handled things as best as I could, and everything worked out in the end, didn't it? You're human again. I wonder if the deadline was also fake then. I think it would make sense if it was. You're human again, and you've fallen in love with Mr. Wizard. You look so cute together. It's almost enough to make me forget all the wrong you wrought me, Blaze. You're both adorable when you blush like that. I'm so very happy for you. Now, what do you say to me? Are we supposed to say something to you? I think so. Shouldn't a thank you be in order? You wouldn't have gotten together if it wasn't for me. It's almost like I'm some kind of Cupid. I'm so kind. I scare even myself. I don't know if cursing me was all that kind. I mean, I'm glad everything was alright, but what if Aster had been slower at realizing he actually had a huge thing for me? Then I would have been stuck as a cat forever. What? No, you wouldn't. Where'd you get that silly idea? Yeah, okay, so the whole deadline was fake. You told us that. I did? You did. He's right. You gave me a week's limit. I remember that too. You were quite specific about that point, milady. Oh, I did? Jermaine blinks in a manner of one who heard something unexpected. Then coyly she grins. I guess I might have been annoyed at you, Blaze, for being so naughty, but so I decided to give you a bit of a scare. I wanted to make you panic just a teensy tiny bit, but I didn't mean it. I'm a pretty strong witch, but there's no way I would have been able to curse you indefinitely. It would have been way too tiring. It was pretty tiring cursing you for as long as I did, actually. It made me so lethargic. I couldn't pay attention. So that was affecting her that like the whole week as well. I thought it would have been just like one and done. Couldn't pay attention in any of my etiquette lessons. You kept falling asleep. Thought you kept falling asleep because, and I quote, Armand is an old boar, and his voice could put even the fiercest demonic generals Severia to sleep. Well, yes, that was also a contributing factor, but my magical energy isn't infinite, you know. Glad you evolved. All think so highly of me, though. That you think I really could have made good on that threat? I didn't know I was that intimidating. Wait, so let me get this straight. Are you saying Blaze wasn't in any immediate danger? Nope. The spell would have worn off on its own in a couple of weeks, at the most. Kiss or no kiss, though. I'm very glad that you didn't decide to go for. And I'm very glad that you did decide to go for the kiss route. That's the most exciting ending to this little tale. Oh, I'm sure it is. At least, to you at least. I sighed and pinched the bridge of my nose between my thumbs and index finger. I think I can feel a headache coming on, and Charmaine's breezy laughter isn't helping. It's nice to know she's not as sociopathic as she generally intended to stick Blaze in a cat's body for the rest of his days. But making him believe that he was even an option does seem a bit, well, sadistic. It's little wonder that the net always looks so harried. I feel harried too, having to put up with a girl like this. I can't help but feel like I was being played a fool. But I guess I can't be too mad at Charmaine. She is right in one regard, at least. If it wasn't for her, my relationship with Blaze never would have had a chance to blossom. I'm glad that I met him. He changed my life for the better, and though this might have started because he swiped a few utensils from the Valera family, he has stolen some far more precious from me. I used to guard my own feelings jealously, fearful that they would be used against me, but no longer. Finally, I feel like I can let down my guard. I'm happy with Blaze, and that I hope will never change. Like one of the romance stories Charmaine is so fond of. I can only hope that we can stay together no matter what, and that we too can be happy and have it happily ever after. Oh. Yeah, this game is very cute. I really like it. I mean, it was annoying, but like, I don't think my laptop and controller issues are the game's fault. I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna play next. Like, I've been trying to pick something out, like looking, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I do have the weekend to choose though. That makes sense. Oh, an epilogue. Thank you once again for your patronage. It really is appreciated. Hope you swing by again sometime. We'll be waiting. I think maybe so. So one of the games I was thinking about doing next is the first Final Fantasy, the original version of it. But I'm not sure. Because there's so many games I want to play, but I don't know. Lays bids a cheerful goodbye to our latest customer, leaves with several tonics all wrapped up nice and neat in a paper bag and beams. Tucking a strand of dark hair behind his ears, he turns to me and says, "And that's a wrap. It looks like we had another successful day, huh, Aster? Do you think that business has been booming lately? I guess. I suppose I should be happy that my humble little shop has exploded in popularity during the last fortnight, but it is a little humbling. My shop did well enough in the pre-Blaze days, before he started to work as my assistant, but it was slow going, and I was fortunate to get about a dozen customers a week. And sometimes I went several days without seeing a single person. This suited me just a little. This suits me just fine. It gave me more time to myself to work on my strange and electric potions for my own amusement. But my finances were pretty tight. For a wizard who graduated at the top of the class from the esteemed Oleander Academy, I can't say I was doing particularly well for myself. In fact, in comparison to the rest of my classmates, many of whom went on to become professional sorcerers or personal witches and wizards to the wealthy elite, I was barely scraping by. I've never been a man of expensive habits, so it's not like I needed a lot to get by. All I really required was money enough to keep a roof over my head and food in my belly. Who do you... I think I know who you're talking about. And I used to, I'm pretty sure I used a mod for that person. I haven't in a while. I don't remember them playing TX2. Or if they did, I don't know if I was there for that. But maybe I didn't, I don't know, it has been a while, so I could just be misremembering. I never regretted my lot in life, therefore, but it does feel like a weight has lifted off my shoulders since Blaze started working with me. Ever since he started as my assistant, we've seen a steady increase in customers. Today in particular, we've been absolutely swamped. The man who just left, bearing several tonics, a myriad of health problems, was our 12th customer of the day, something which would have been unthinkable back in the old days, save for a very rare occasion. I thought I managed this place just fine on my own, despite my staggering lack of people skills, and I can now see I was doing a pretty poor job. Blaze, with his chipper demeanor and his easygoing attitude, has turned this place around. Word somehow got out around Oxel that I've found a very appreciative, and people have been rushing in droves to come out here and see him. Blaze's patter really must be appealing if people are willing to tramp all this way out of the woods, just way through the woods to pay us a visit. We've even had a few maids from the royal palace, where Queen Asmodeus reigns, and I think one of the demon's lackeys stopped by too. A tan girl with horns wearing a very little clothing, who wanted a wakefulness tonic so I can perk Nimune up a little, you know? I don't know what this Nimune is, but I served this demon politely enough, despite the horns in her tail. I know some people in Miel are wary around demons, given the immense amount of magical power they possess, but I've always been more pragmatic. Might be an ordinary human, but I can perform some pretty impressive feats in magic myself. Thinking about it that way, I don't think I'm all that different from a demon myself. Though I don't have the horns, of course. In any case, well, I'm thankful Blaze presence has led to an uptick in customers. It is a bit embarrassing. Wish I could have done that myself. I mean, this is my shop. It's the name on the. It's my name on the sign outside. Hewed into the wood, Master's Apothecary. It's simple, but it gets the job done. The apothecary hasn't quite felt like mine, however, since Blaze started the work here. While people come here ostensibly for the tonics, I feel like Blaze is the bigger draw. He's so personable, even I find myself getting drawn into his patter. And I'm the one who brewed that damn potion he waxes lyrical about. It's galling being bested by my own business by a newbie like him, but I know he's doing this for my sake. I shouldn't begrudge him for my newfound success. Should be thankful, and I am, but well, it's complicated. Maybe I'm just cranky since I've been dealing with more customers lately. Blaze takes care of all the small talk, but I still have more potions to brew than usual, which means I have less time for all my strange experiments. I'm a bit worried I'll wind up burning myself out if it hadn't begun already, but hey, I have more money now, which means I can afford some of the rare, more exotic ingredients to be delivered to me. That means I can make a stab at some really exotic potions I've only read about in books before, provided I can find my own time, of course. Yeah, you've been doing a great job. Things haven't been the same since you got here. I know, aren't I the best? I gotta say, I'm not used to working this hard. Not even the Villars pushed me so much, but it's nice having so many people to chat to. Is it now? I frown. Blaze has been living with me for a fortnight, but is he already getting bored of my company? I know I'm not the most interesting person out there. I'm starting to worry. He doesn't prefer our customers to me, does he? My shoulders slumped and I think Blaze sees it. He might not be a cat anymore, but his eyes are still pretty discerning. Bounding over to me, he grins and says, "But of course, I like talking to you the most, don't worry, Aster. It was interesting listening to that guy who just left. He said he was going to Hebe Clarence. Can you believe it? But he's not my type. He's the only one for me." Blaze grins and gives me a quick peck on the cheek. I know he's just trying to placate me, but it works. I find myself flushing, regardless. A small rising of my lips. Oh, thanks. That you're the only one for me too, despite yourself sometimes. Glad to hear it. Sometimes I worry I try to tire you out, but maybe things are working out alright after all. It's fine. You're not tiring me out, it's all the customers. Suffering from success, are you? I suppose so. But there are worse things a man can suffer from. You're so right. I'm glad you don't have the pox. Not like some of the poor customers. The what? I'm glad we can make your lives a little better at least. But I'm even gladder I get to work with you. Now, do I get to reward? Now, do I get a reward for putting so much hard work Maybe a pat on the head? What? I don't know why you're so into having your head patted, of all things. You aren't a cat anymore. No, but I was a cat for a while, thanks to Charmaine. I might not chase mice or birds about. Thank goodness if Play started dragging decorative carcasses indoors, we'd have a few problems. But I still like having my head patted. It feels good. Ah. Let's see how long this lasts. I don't. Won't you be a bit of treat, Aster? I think I deserve it. I've been working hard, haven't I? Well, I flushed, taken aback by Blaze's large, winsome eyes. I thought it was easier for him to win me over when he was still a cat, but it's not strictly true. He's pretty good at getting about what he wants while he's in a human form too. Wish I wasn't so weak-willed, but... Oh, alright. If I pat your head all you want, I don't suppose it's such a steep price to pay. Now come here. Yay, you're the best, Aster. Blaze still had a tail, but it would be twitching, but that's a moot point. He doesn't have a tail anymore, or the ears, and yet... This feels nice, being patted by you feels so nice. Some of his cat-like tendencies have remained. He sighs as I sink my digits into his hair, running the tips of his fingers against his scalp. His Blaze is much taller than I am. He has to bend so I can pat him properly. Since Blaze is so much taller than I am, oh yeah, I read that. It's a bit of a perplexing power play, and I'm not really sure who's in charge here. Blaze for requesting my attention, or me for taking charge. My relationship with Blaze is a little convoluted in general, owing to how we met, but I'm not unhappy with how things have played out. Only been together for a couple of weeks, but that's enough time for me to appreciate what a positive impact he has on my life. I feel a lot happier with him around than I did without him. It gives me a reason to wake up in the morning, quite literally often, since he's always the one to wake up first. He's been helping me a lot around the house. He's surprisingly good at cooking and cleaning. He's helped me drum up a lot of business thanks to his cheery, smiley attitude. He promised he'd help me. He held himself useful when I offered to let him become my apprentice, and he's made good on it and then some. At this point, I'm not really sure I'd do without him. He's helped me more than I think even he realizes. And he sounds pretty cute when he purrs like that. I continue to pat his head, my fingertips rubbing against his scalp. We've done this often enough that I know the most sensitive spots when... Oh, she's back. Yeah, I thought this would have to be, like, that was one plot point that I thought would probably need to be fixed up. Oh, Aster, I was hoping you would be here. I know you sometimes go far walks in the woods, but my intuition told me you would have been available today. I suppose that was further proof that you are fated to be together. That we are fated to be together. I know we had a few disputes in the past, but they do say the absence makes the heart grow fonder. Oh no! Oh no! I hope that you miss me, just as I missed you. I feel as though that we've been too long since I last came here. Oh. I started red-faced, my hands falling from Blaze's scalp, and with my head upward. I think I recognize the sound of that smug, self-assured voice. And sure enough, Angelique. Just as I suspected, Angelique Lemaire, your herself is standing at the doorway of my humble apothecary, flanked by her trusty maid, Nanette. Angelique looks much the same as always. Her blonde hair teases into curls. She's wearing her favorite ostentatious dress. Not that that's saying much. All of her dresses are ostentatious, which looks a bit too fancy for a trip to the woods. Then again, that's Angelique. That's Angelique all over. She really does have more money than sense. It doesn't seem to be noticed mine and Blaze's proximity, but Nanette does. She zeroes in on us. Her ears narrow, then says, "Perhaps we have interrupted something, milady. Do you think we should leave and come back on another occasion?" What? Angelique's nose wrinkles. For a moment, I worry she might realize that it is Annette's what Annette's getting at, but this doesn't seem to be the case. A few seconds pass and then, why would we leave, Annette? What a ridiculous suggestion. Why, we only just got here. I don't know about you, but I've no desire to waste time traipsing back and forth across Excel, especially not to pay impromptu visit to this home. Damn, she was going to say hovel and then I know she was. She might have been able to course correct just in time. But I still hurt her. I've always known that Angelique doesn't exactly have a high opinion of my home, but still, might be a bit messy, but I don't think it's that bad. I've come here to come here, so we shall stay until I have conducted my business status. There's something I wish to discuss with Aster. You might wish to discuss something with him, but does he want to discuss something with you? I think he might be busy, milady. Doing what? Angelique scoffs. Don't be a ninny, Nanette. I know it's hard for you to help it, but what in the world could Aster have to do with that's more important than serving me? Do not forget, I am a member of the Lumiere family. Now, Aster, would you mind showing your customer out? Once again, I don't fail to notice the derision that drips from Angelique's voice. She might have called Blaze a customer, but I'm pretty sure she's first word which came to her tip of her tongue was vagabond. So you can attend to more important affairs, namely me. You know, you might have disappointed me once, but I'm willing to give you another chance. I'm not a forgiving woman by nature, but she's gonna be so disappointed. But I wanted to allow you an opportunity to redeem yourself, if nothing else. It would have felt unladylike not to. Now, aren't you happy? Well, but of course you are. Anybody would be. I'd be positively over the moon were I in your shoes. Angelique's pointed gaze flickers down at my feet, and she shudders. Not that I would ever wear your shoes, of course. That's much too drab. And they wouldn't go with my dress at all. Now, are you going to show this young man out? Your atelier is dirty enough as it is without letting such unscrupulous, shady-looking characters loiter about. You will give yourself a bad reputation. And I'm unsure if that's something you can afford. Not when your reputation is so poor already. Oh, she's... Be gone with you, my good sir. Leave. Shoo. Ugh. Angelique makes a shooing gesture towards the place, which makes my lips work upward into a small smile. Angelique's been rather rude, but there is something a bit funny about her treating the newly human place like anybody would a stray cat. Doesn't have to have the ears anymore or the tail, but that isn't enough to deter Angelique. For a blue-blooded young lady, she sure doesn't seem to mind taking liberties with manners. Blaze doesn't seem to mind, however. He smiles and says, "Begging your pardon, milady, but I'm not a customer. I'm not loitering about either." "You aren't?" "I'm afraid not. I'll take more than that to get rid of me. I've become something of a permanent fixture around this place, as it happens, since I'm Aster's new assistant." "New assistant?" Angelique blinks, then she frowns. "Ah, yes, I did hear something about that on the grapevine, but really? Why did you have to employ a fellow like this as your assistant, Aster? He hasn't even tucked his shirt in, and his hair is a mess. Has he even heard of a comb before? Your home might be a veritable pigsty, but that doesn't mean your employees need to be similarly disorganized." "Well, that is... Apologize, milady, if my appearance offends your eyes. I know I'm not the best looking guy out there, but I'm pretty competent, I can assure you that. It's a bit of an experience working for a fancy young lady such as you, actually, but I can at least know my P's and Q's. Now, please allow me to introduce myself properly. My name is Blaze, and it really is a pleasure to meet you. Enchante." Blaze takes a small step forward, then bends, taking Angelique's hand between his own deft fingers. He dips his head and presses a kiss against her knuckles. It's just a little graze, and I think it might be the beginning of a blush forming on Angelique's face. Oh, I don't think she isn't upset, is she? I watched her uneasily, waiting for what I'm sure will be an inevitable outrage as to this Nanette, but well, at least you have some manners. To my immense surprise, it doesn't come. And instead, Angelique glances away, now toying locks of... She's gonna fall in love with both of them now. Now toying with the locks of her fair hair. This is new, as she says. "Perhaps you aren't as uncultured as I first feared. Looking at looks can be deceiving, or so do they. They're more than meets the eye. So, what can I do you for today, my fair lady? Can't imagine you've come here for any potions to whiten your teeth or smooth your skin. Your appearance is flawless already, just like a seraph's." Well, Angelique falters. This really is unlike her, while Nanette scowls in the background. Angelique's white-haired maid veers her throat and then says, "Do you want some instructions, Mr. Blaze? You can let go of the lady for a start. I doubt she appreciates being manhandled in such a way. Isn't that correct, milady?" Nanette's voice was initially full of self-confidence, but it wavers as she glances at Angelique. She takes on Angelique's dewy eyes and her flushed cheeks, which are now a color of caramel apple, and frowns. Milady, what is it? Please come to your senses. Mr. Blaze asked you a question. What? Oh, yes. I apologize. Oh. With an awkward laugh. One which doesn't sound at all like Angelique. I know. She draws her hand away from Blaze's grasp, cradling it to her chest as though a baby rabbit. She then says, "Please bear with me. I was not expecting such an address. I'm rather used to Aster's clumsy, artless manner of customer service." Huh? Since when am I clumsy? I thought Angelique always said my perfect says she visits me because I listened to her and I made her feel valued. What happened to all that? It can be a bit awkward, yeah. That's why he took me on. I talk to most of his clients for him, so he gets more time pouring over the potions. I think it's a pretty good arrangement, if I do say so myself. You've seen a real uptick. I did not imagine. Okay, if I known it would have gone this long, I probably would have stopped it, like when we saw the credits, and then done this whole epilogue next stream. But I feel like it's like way too late now. I definitely need to finish it, but I hope I do. I think it's a pretty good arrangement, if I do say myself. We've seen a real uptick in customers since I started helping. I'm hardly surprised, as talented a wizard Aster is. He has always been so awkward. I've been coming to him for years already, but I fear he still doesn't know how to treat a woman, not like you do. You and he could not be more dissimilar, and I mean, that is the best possible way. I was wondering whether I would continue to patronize this place, but given the degree of service I've received today, I feel like I have no choice but to grant my continued business. A kind, well-spoken man such as you deserves it. Now, lady, please, whatever happens to your feelings for Aster, she's just saying it out. Yeah, me either. It has gone a little long. What feelings towards Aster? That's a good point. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. I mean, she did say when she came in here, she did say like something about her and Aster being together. So like, and also Blaze like clocked that she had feelings for him like way earlier in the game. I know that Blaze has some suspicions, but having something confirmed like this from the net, of all people, is pretty unexpected. It doesn't seem like Angelique wants to play along, however. I feel like in that 1 second, she's already moved on though. She rounded and says, "I don't recall feeling anything special towards him. It was always, he was and always has been a convenient dispenser of potions in a really reasonable price. Our relationship is purely business." You say that, yet you were mooning about him not seeing him for the last fortnight. You were so grumpy and made your father worried, and he hardly even pays attention to your affairs. I was beginning to worry for you. You had been eaten so little. Yet now you're acting as though there was nothing amiss. Well, there wasn't, and you are really into it too much, like always, Nanette. Haven't I told you to stop being such a ninny? Yes, milady, but nothing. From this point forward, Aster is dead to me. I found a new assistant. His new assistant, Blake, was it? Blaze, milady. Blaze, then. I find you to be more diverting. You really are a man after my own heart. Ho ho ho. Why, thank you. I'm very flattered, though I don't think I deserve your heart. It's far far to find a gift for me. Simply... Oh, wait, plug it back in. Simply seeing you smile is all I could ask for. Come on. Ah, there we go. Simply, oh yeah. Blaze flashes her a winning smile and then bows his head. Angelique meanwhile sighs. It looks like she's close to swooning, and Nanette licks her tongue. And I thought milady fixations on asses were irritating. I fear this will be even harder to shake. He is rather charming, isn't he? I sidle up to Nanette, then glance over at Blaze. He's busy giving Angelique a run-through of various potions I offer. Like she needs to know. Angelique has been here enough times that she should know of my full repertoire off by heart, but she listens to him regardless, hanging on to every word. She nods at everything Blaze says. When he jokes, she laughs a little too loudly. She couldn't even make her interest more obvious if she tried. I think he's too charming for his own good. The way he speaks might be flowery, but it's not too dissimilar to a con artist. Where did you pick him up anyway? The gutter? It was from a flue of my chimney, actually, but that's not a bad guess. He is pretty grimy. Why was I even worried about what Angelique might think of me anyway? I needn't have bothered. Now, if she's going to move on this quickly, she really is fickle. Spent the rest of the afternoon and all the ensuing evenings in a poor mood. Blaze tries to lighten things up over the dinner table, but I'm not having it. I'm really not in the mood for conversation, not after watching him ingratiate himself with Angelique like that. I know he was doing his job, but jeez, he really needs to be that effective about it. Run over Blaze's behavior for most of the night, even though I changed into my pajamas and grabbed a book to read from the shelf at random. The book is just a prop, however. I'm not really reading it. I can't pay attention, my thoughts are all over the place. I flip through the pages and the book's angrily using more force than necessary to turn them. The pages then beneath my fingers, and I'm too incensed to really care. At the moment, I don't think I even care if I ripped it. Oh. I'm not the one to advocate violence against books. I think they're pretty resourceful, but crumpling a few pages seems to be a better idea than kicking Blaze in the shin. I don't want to get into a fight with him. I know I'm being unreasonable, but it makes me feel even worse. It doesn't help either that Blaze looms over my shoulders and says, his voice cased. Hey Aster, what's wrong? I grunt in response and he frowns. And what's the purpose, and what's that supposed to mean, huh? It means it's none of your damn business. What? Blaze takes a step back, but he doesn't give me a wide berth that I want. Instead, he pouts and says, what's gotten into you? You seem happy enough this morning, and as happy as you ever are, I mean, but you've been so grumpy since we closed up shop. I wouldn't have thought you'd be happy, Aster, since takings were so high today. Why aren't you more enthusiastic? I'm never enthusiastic. Well, that much is true at least. But are you sure there isn't something wrong? You're not usually like this aggressive. Yes, I'm sure it's nothing. Really? Blaze takes a step in and peers over my shoulder once again. You had your nose buried in this book for the last half hour, but Aster, what? You can't have been reading it. I mean, it's not even the right way up. Huh? Now this is news to me. I was so focused on my own silly feelings of indignation, I wasn't paying this book much heed. Now Blaze mentions it. However, he's right. It really is upside down. What the hell have I been doing? Oh, that was just a test. A test? Yes, I was trying to decode an arcane script. I thought approaching it from a different angle might help. You say that, but the book is Millennian, and now what? And how would you know that, huh? You hardly read at all. Well, yeah, but I'm not illiterate. I read enough. I'm not so stupid. You had to fob me off with an excuse like that, Aster. Ah, it's starting. Yeah, I don't know. I really do not know how much longer. Get to the end of this already. I'm kind of hurt. You think I'm doing things a little of me? Yeah. I felt still looking away at Blaze's face pointedly. Can't bring myself to meet his gaze. Come on. Not when I'm in such a bad mood. I know I'm being petty, but geez, can't Blaze figure it out on his own? The fact that he has to ask is even more annoying than the fact that he asked at all. Sit there for a few moments, scowling until... Alright, fine, you got me. I'm not upset about nothing, though knowing you probably say that it is. I doubt you think it's a big deal. You can be so careless sometimes. Well, I can't argue with that. Guilty as charged, but still, I feel like I should be the one to say I feel about things, not you. Are you going to fess up? Fine, if you really want to know. I don't appreciate that you were being so friendly with Angelique earlier. That's all. Oh, so that's the problem, is it? Of course, what else would it be? You really didn't need to lead her on, flattering her ego like that. It's already so monstrous. I'm surprised she can't fit through. It's already. I'm surprised she can't fit through doorways. If you keep it up, her head will get so swollen she won't be able to stand. She really does feel. She really does need you. She really doesn't need you buttering her up. Not when she's has a much. Not when she has a bunch of mates who do that all for her already. Other than that seems to be the sycophant sort. She's surprisingly straight-laced, even that she's Angelique's maid, but that's probably for the best. Angelique had a maid who folded for her all the time, like Charmaine's Nanette. I'm afraid she'd be even more unbearable than she is, and she's already plenty unbearable on her own. I don't want Blaze justifying her behavior, or worst of all, and I don't think you need to kiss her either. I muttered this last part under my breath, in a little more than a whisper, aware that I'm being ridiculous. I know that Blaze didn't mean anything by that kiss. It was pleasantry more than anything, but it still stings. Ugh. I know that Blaze doesn't mean but still it stings. I don't want him kissing anybody but me, not even on the hand, and especially not Angelique. The whole thing has put me in a dour mood, though I feel stupid for being so upset in the first place, which of course only succeeds in upsetting me all the more. I scowl as I look down at my desk, not wanting to meet Blaze's mismatched eyes. I don't think I can. I just want to sit and stew at a well of my own self-important misery, but what was that, Aster? Blaze must have heard me though. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure whether this is what I wanted after all. Never can tell when I'm with him. It always makes me doubt myself. I'm forever second guessing my true intentions, wondering what it is that I want. But in actuality, I know it all rather it's all rather straightforward. The only thing I want is for Blaze to pay attention to me. He grins now, ruffling the top of my head, and says, "Oh, Aster, you silly thing." And what's so silly exactly? Why are you looking at me like that? And why are you messing up my hair? You know why? And stop being so precious about your hair. You've never cared about it before. Why start now? Is it too late for me to care about my looks? Well, no, I suppose not. But if you start fussing, you're going to end up like Angelique. You say that like it's a bad thing. Yeah. But you and her seemed to get along very well earlier. Don't think I didn't see her hanging out with you. Come on. Hanging on your every word, giggling like a schoolgirl. Don't think I didn't see it either, or hear it. She wasn't being very subtle. But you don't need to be jealous. I know I was being nice to her, maybe a little too nice, but it was all customer service. I figured that a hoity-toity madam like her would enjoy being treated like a princess. I just went with my gut instinct. I was trying to get on her good side, especially since you failed to finish her last potion on time. Yes, and whose fault is that? Exactly. I know you only missed your last one deadline because of me, so I wanted to make amends. I really did want to win her back over, so you could get one of your best customers back, but I wasn't doing it because I have any romantic interest in her. I was trying to help you, Aster. Well, I know that Blaze is in the right, but I didn't shake the mental image Blaze's lips against the back of Angelique's hand from my mind. It was only a slight brush, hardly enough to call a kiss, really, but still. Seeing my boyfriend's kiss someone else, especially Angelique Lumiere, still stings. If I want to be mad about it, I think I deserve to. It doesn't matter how justified my temper is. I have every right. If you want to help me, you have a funny way about going about it. You didn't need to put in quite that much work. Probably not, no, but I wanna. I want to work hard for your sake, Aster. So we gotta secure a comfortable future together. I just wanted to make myself useful. And you know what? What? I might have been treating Angelique like a princess, but I've never been all that interested in them. I far prefer princes, especially when they're cool and aloof, and look a little grumpy when but with soft and gooey centers. That's the sort of person I'm interested in, and that's the only sort of person I really want to kiss. In fact, Blaze grins, leans down, then quicker than blinking, grabs a hold of me, pulls me up to my feet before I can protest, pressing our bodies flush, then says, "I'm feeling pretty starved of kisses right now. Would you mind, Aster? I've wanted to smooch you all night, but you've been ignoring me. It really is cruel. You're breaking my heart here to itty bitty pieces." What? I looked at Blaze, flustering at our newfound closeness, at a sudden change in my position. About 2 seconds ago, I was sitting on my desk, but now pressed up against Blaze's chest. I can hear the sounds of his bird humming almost in tandem with my own. Can feel his warm breath against my cheeks. His hair brushes my skin, soft and silky, and I tremble. He really is handsome. I've always thought this about Blaze, well, as soon as I discovered he wasn't an ordinary cat at least. But at close quarters like this, he's captivating. I want to cling onto my discontent. I still feel a bit disgruntled, damn it, but I can't, not when he's this close to me. It isn't possible. I inhale, breathing in Blaze's scent, the homey scent of my skin and of his hair, the mumble. Oh, well, I guess it sounds kind of serious, as annoying as it can be. I don't want to hurt you. Right? I thought as much. You're a pretty sweet guy, Aster, which is why I like you so much. You're adorable. Lanely. Blaze leans in, the tips of his nose brushes against mine, his eyes half-lidded, and he murmurs, "But you're even more adorable when I have you in my arms, and I'm kissing you, and you're whimpering. I think you're at most adorable like that." Look, Blaze, you... Okay, 1 second. I'll try one more thing. We'll be right back. That's hopefully it's I mean, I like this game, but I hate my PC so much. That's because at this moment Blaze dips his head. His lips find mine, claiming them in a kiss so hot it burns. And as I do, my eyelids fall shut. I can't help myself. I tried to act grumpy earlier, but that's all it was, an act. Now that Blaze is pressing his body against our bodies together, and he's kissing me, I can't keep it up. It's impossible. I've never been able to resist Blaze, not when he's like this. I don't think I want to resist him, or rather stand here in my arms, looked around my middle, as my mouth continues to press against my own. As his teeth gently nibbling my lower lip. I sighed against the kiss. Once again, I can't help myself, but Blaze uses this to his advantage. His tongue slides into my mouth. Come on. Now turning the kiss into something exceedingly wetter and warmer than anything he did with Angelique. I can taste Blaze's saliva. I can feel his fingers pressing firmly against the ridge of my spine to better support me. He dips his head, altering the angle as of the kiss, and it deepens. I moaned against his mouth, helpless, completely incapable of resisting him. And as I kiss him back, my short-lived irritation to meeting melting away, I found myself thinking that this is fine. It's all I could ever ask for. Not that I ever do ask for it. Typically, I'm too shy to outright demand kisses like this, so Blaze had to try and gauge my mood based on the things I do and say. I know he can't be easy on him, given I'm so huffy, but he doesn't let that stop him. If anything, anybody can cheer me up, Blaze can. Though he is often the source of my distemper. He always helps wash it clean away. When he kisses me like this, I can't get annoyed or upset or anything. It simply isn't possible. Can't think of anything to say how much I love him. Can't do anything except kiss him back. All I want to do is melt into his embrace. Our mouth pressed fleshed, his arms hands supporting my back. As the time slides by, I want to be with him like this forever, or at least for as long as we physically comfortable. No, that's nothing of course lasts forever. I'm too much of a pragmatist to believe in infinity, but for now, this is more than enough for me. It's more than I could ever ask for. Angelique, eat your heart out. The petty part of me thinks Liz might have kissed her hand, but he'll never ever kiss her like this. She can quaff as many potions and tonics and tinctures as she likes, but that won't change the fact. Lace is all mine, and I'm not about to share him. I love him far too much for that. Aww. Yeah, this game is very cute. Like, I just wish I wasn't having troubles with it, with streaming it at least. But yeah, the characters are like, they're all so cute and like, it really is. But yeah, next stream should be Monday. I don't know when I'm gonna stream then. Like, I really need to pick out something. I really do. like I did say earlier, the first Final Fantasy game is on like my list, so maybe that. There's one other game that I forget the name of that. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to look into it though. I'll have to have the weekend to do it. So, but yeah. There. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And have a good weekend.